Hello! Hello, hello, hello! Oh my god, let me just get set up. I was just on Instagram reminding everyone to come on the stream. We were talking about Love is Blind today. I am in my pajamas because it's Easter Sunday and it's Lazy Sunday. So I just wanted to talk to you about it with you guys. If you have not already, go on my Instagram. The link is is Chinita underscore Loca. And vote in the polls for what we're going to be talking about today. I need to I'm on Twitch on my phone too, so it's going everywhere. But yeah, we're just gonna talk about some stuff. We're gonna talk about Love Is Blind. We're gonna talk about season 4. Before we do any spoilers, we'll just go through all the poll answers. I'm gonna give you guys a few more minutes to jump on, and a few more minutes to vote. So I'm just gonna let you guys check it out. And obviously, if you want to join the chat, say hi in the chat. I'm gonna type in there and start it just to make sure it's working. Hey, welcome to the Lazy Sunday stream. I know it's Easter, so, and Passover and Ramadan. So obviously, if you cannot come on and you're with your family, that's fine. I'm gonna save this video so you guys can always rewatch it. And we're just gonna talk about everything. Is this working? Is this thing on? Yay! Alright. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're connected. I think we're vibing. I'm just gonna turn my phone down so I don't hear the echo. Alright, so if you haven't seen it, before I get into spoilers, we're just gonna talk about Love is Blind the season before the last episodes were released. So in the beginning, if we're talking about everything, my opinions have changed so freaking drastically. It's not even funny. In the beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, I love Chelsea. She's so amazing. Iffy about Kwame and Micah and Paul. So my opinion of Chelsea, she was on my draft pick before. I was like, I love her, justice for Chelsea. The more I listen to her and talk, like, and how she talks to Kwame, oh my god, I saw something on Reddit where she was like force feeding him the strawberries. It was so cringe, and someone said it reminded them of like The Office when they force feed Kevin the broccoli because they're trying to make him get healthy, and they're like, eat it, eat it. She is giving major like creepy vibes, and I like her, but I think she likes the idea of Kwame much more than she actually likes him. And then I really liked Kwame, and then the whole Micah thing happened, and they were flirting by the pool, and it was just like, ugh. And now I just feel bad for him. Like, he doesn't even seem like the same person, honestly. I feel so bad for him. He looks so unhappy. Micah and Paul have grown on me a lot. I feel like Micah is just around people like her drunk friend who are like really bad people. But her as a person, she's not bad. She's better. Um, Obviously, we're going to talk about Zach and Bliss. We're just going to talk about everyone. So I'm going to go through the poll results from yesterday on my Instagram. All right, so the first question. Who is your favorite couple? With 79% of the vote, we have Tiffany and Brett. There's no surprise there. How do Bliss and Zach have -1? They have -1% on the poll. I'm not even lying. I didn't know that was possible. What the fuck? Okay, well, maybe, I don't know. That's so weird. It literally says -1. That's so funny. So, um, Bliss and Zach have -1. Just so strange. Chelsea and Kwame have 2 votes, which I'm very, very surprised about. I did have hope for them in the first episode before, like the whole pool scene with Kwame and Micah flirting. I thought, you know what? For some reason, I thought Kwame would turn around and be a good guy, but he's giving me Bartiste vibes, like major Bartiste vibes, where he's just there to kind of get famous. And I saw somewhere on TikTok where he had applied for Married at First Sight. They had like him in the background and like circled, like, is that Kwame? So like for some reason this man just really wants to be on like a marriage reality show. I don't know if it's to jumpstart something, but it's giving me like major Bartiste SK vibes where it's like he acts like a really good guy and then he might just kind of be trying to get clout for being married. Or I don't know. It's very weird. But they got a few votes. And then Micah and Paul also got 2 votes. So both of them are an 11%. And Bliss and Zach got no votes. That's very surprising. I will say Micah and Paul, yeah, they definitely have grown on me. I don't know if I fully trust Micah yet because she was still kind of talking Kwame. Like, I don't know if that's just how she is. Because I feel like she does like Paul, and they kind of have a cute, like, teenagers, like, thing going on where they really, like, are giddy and they like each other. And Micah is so much like Paul's mom, which is like so Freudian, um, that I could see it working. Like they have a good relationship, but I just don't know if in the long run it'll work. But Paul's so chill that he might just be like, yeah, whatever, like let her get what she wants. Okay, so the second question we had was cringiest moment so far in the series, and the choices are Zach's singing proposal to Irina. Oh my god, in the pods. Irina asking Bliss for a candle. Micah's drunk friend being rude to Paul, and Micah and Kwame flirting at the pool. And the number one answer with 55% of the vote is Micah and Kwame flirting at the pool. And then Zach singing proposal to Irina is in second with 39%. And then Irina asking Bliss for a candle. And then no one voted for Micah's drunk friend being rude to Paul. I was surprised because I thought honestly the cringiest thing ever was Zach's singing proposal, but I guess he meant it ironically. A lot of people called him out because they're like, "Oh, that's not even his a real song." But I guess he said that production edited it out like it was supposed to be like a bad joke, like he wasn't actually trying. So I don't know if they did that for the cringe factor, but the majority said Michael and Kwame flirting at the pool anyway. Which yeah, I have to agree, kind of. I don't think it's. I guess it is pretty cringy. Oh God. Oh yeah. I I think it's even worse that like Kawami, like even the next time he saw her, he was still kind of like flirting with her, and I'm like, man, like, come on, get it together. I don't know. And honestly, well, I guess yeah, Chelsea, she do be a little bit crazy, but still, just like, don't pretend, man. Okay, so the next one we have predictions. Okay, so we're doing our draft picks. If you get every single one of these right, I will give you a special Love is Blind surprise, and we can vote on that too. And we'll find that out at the finale. So if you vote in the poll right now, or if you have voted and you get every single of the predictions right, I will gift you something. I will find you and gift you something. We'll figure out what it is. So, predictions for Micah and Paul. The answers for all the next predictions will be they'll both say yes, they'll both say no, and then one will say no, one will say yes, and the vice versa. So at 53% of the vote, we have Paul will say yes and Micah will say no, which I find so interesting. I will say again at the beginning, I felt like they had no chemistry. They didn't even like each other. Micah and Kwame were flirting at the pool the whole time, and I was like, where the hell is Paul? Like he wasn't even there. Like Chelsea was getting really pissed, and it was showing her, but like Paul was non-existent. So like when Micah and Kwame were flirting and having that long ass conversation, where was Paul? And he did not like seem to care. I was just very surprised at how they've progressed, and again, they are growing on me. But I guess the majority of people think that Paul really is starting to like her. I think for guys it's so much simpler, like and Paul kind of gives me like golden retriever, no, like lab vibes, like a lab like dog, because he's like so loyal and outdoorsy and cute, and I guess I do feel like he just like is, he'll go along with kind of whatever Michael wants, like, and he has like one tank top and one shirt, like he's so simple. So I guess like for him, he's a simple man. He finds a girl that loves him, gets along with his mom, he's fine. Micah's very high maintenance, so opposites do attract. Will she put up with this forever? If Paul's patient enough, maybe. Micah, I could see her saying no, um, but it's not full, which is also probably why 29% of the poll says they'll both say yes. So there's a little bit of a difference. I could see them both saying yes for sure. But I do agree with the poll. More likely, Michael will say no. We also have Michael will say no. Will say yes. Paul will say no. If that happens, I will be absolutely flabbergasted. I mean, crazier things have happened in past seasons. So I mean, it could be possible because the way they edit it, they try to make you think something. But 6% of our poll said that, and then 12% of our poll, so a little bit higher. This is the third answer, said they'll both say no, which I could also see happening. I will say my most likely thoughts are Paul will say yes, Michael will say no, or they'll both say no. That's what I think. I don't think they'll. You know, I don't know. I'm not gonna. It's so hard. That's what I'm saying. It's so hard. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna put anything on that. All right. So our next draft pick, we have Kawami and Chelsea. Kawami and Chelsea. So if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert. Okay. I'm gonna give you a few seconds to hop off if you haven't seen it. One, two, three, four. All right. So Kwame and Chelsea. In the last episode, the cliffhanger we left off at is Chelsea saying "I do," which everyone saw coming. There's no surprise. She is obsessed with that man again at kind of a creepy level, and it makes me so sad because I really did like Chelsea. Like we were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. I was like justice for Chelsea. She's so good to him. Blah blah blah. And then the more the episodes go on, I'm just like, bro, like I don't know, man. Chelsea was at an 8 for me when she started, and now like she's at like a 5. Like she's doing too much, and I feel bad for her because I've been Chelsea. Like I understand, baby girl, like, but God, like, I wish I could shake her awake and just tell her to chill, because you could tell she likes him so much more, and now she's trying to control him, and I'm like, honey, no, 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 no. Anyway, so Kwame and Chelsea, the answers to the poll that I put. Kwame will say no and blame his mom. Kwame will say yes and regret it forever. And Kwame will say yes, he genuinely loves her. Which one do you think is the top answer? With 72%, we have Kwame will say no and blame his mom. I completely think so, because you know what? The first conversation they had when he was talking on the phone with his mom, I could be crazy, okay, so don't quote me, but he has the phone like this, right? Like it's supposed to be on speaker, and he's not wearing AirPods or anything, and we're taping, and the phone's not ringing at all. You don't hear it even though it's on speaker. And then he's like, "Oh, you're mad? Okay, sorry, mom. Bye." I think that was set up. I think she either didn't answer, and he was like, he just wanted a reaction for something, because they're like, well, she's not answering, so just give her a reaction. So he made up that phone call and then hung up. Um, because you're not wearing AirPods. Like, how are you going to hear like that if it's not on speaker? Just weird. He's like, "Oh, you're mad? Okay, mom, bye." And no one would say that. That's like such a setup line. Like if I called my Asian parents and they would hate it, they'd be like, "Oh no, you're not marrying someone after 2 weeks," which is reasonable. I wouldn't be like, "Oh, you're mad? Okay, bye." Like that's not a real conversation. You're just repeating that to get the emphasis of how they're feeling. So I think either he didn't reach her or whatever. But if you rewatch that episode, he's not wearing AirPods. He's not having a conversation. Sus. Anyways, 72% said he'll blame his mom. 17% said Kwame will say yes and regret it forever. And honestly, I don't know where Kwame was born. I need to rewatch that. And I'm not saying he's doing it for Green Card. That's the wrong show. That's 90 Day Fiance. And I don't mean to insinuate that. I meant to say, like, Kwame will say yes and regret it forever because he's, like, married to Chelsea, and I think he doesn't want to lose his, like, credibility. It's kind of like, again, an SK thing where he's like, "Oh, I love Raven so much," and he was cheating on her. I think like he's scared of the public backlash. So I just want to clarify that. And then 11% said Kwame will say yes, he genuinely loves her. Are you guys living in a freaking fantasy world? No. No, he doesn't. No. I want to believe that. I want to like Kwame. I really, really do. But no, he does not. That's not a thing. All right, so next we have Bliss and Zach. All right. So it's the same four answers. They'll both say yes. Bliss says yes. Zach says no. Zach says yes. Bliss says no. Or they both say no. Which one do you guys think? With 53%. 53. So it's actually kind of almost close to a half and half. They both say yes, which I could see happening. And then 41% says Zach says yes, Bliss says no, which is also reasonable. And then 6% said they both say no. And then 0% says Zach says yes, or Zach says no, Bliss says yes. I agree mainly with those results. I don't think there's a world where Bliss says yes and Zach says no. And if he does, I will. I can't say that on Twitch. I'll lose my mind, because honestly, Bliss deserves the world. She is literally the best. She is a fantastic, amazing, beautiful lady. She's so smart, and she's so well spoken, and she's so patient, even with how she talks to like her dad. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just saying she could do better. In the wise words of Drake. I could see them both saying yes, but I could also definitely see Bliss saying no. It's never nice to feel like second best, and I think they're rushing into it a little because she didn't get the full honeymoon experience. He was on his not honeymoon, but like that vacation in Mexico with Irina. Like she missed that whole part. So they've only really been talking for 2 weeks. So I could definitely see them as one of those couples that's like, we're still going to date, we're going to see what's happening, we're going to take it farther, but they're not going to get married yet. That's what I personally think because I feel like she loves him and she knows he's it and is very logical, but I don't think she'll rush into it. Okay, and the last one, Tiffany and Brett. Obviously, these are front runner couples. There's one every season, like Alexa and Brendan. It's just that stable couple. They meet at the beginning, like Lauren and Cameron, and they're just it, and then they carry it through the whole season. That's very much the vibe I get from Tiffany and Brett. We've 81% of the vote, no surprise there, saying they both say yes. 6% say that Tiffany says yes, Brett says no, which is so surprising to me. I do not see that at all. I do not see that. And then 6% also says Brett says yes, Tiffany says no, which again I don't see it. I see Tiffany saying no more than Brett, but I don't think that'll ever happen. And then 7%, which is second place, says they both say no. I also don't see that happening. But I mean, teach their own, right? That's what we're here for, opinions. All right, our next question is, do you think Bliss should have given Zach a second chance? These answers that we have available, if you're voting, are yes, they were cute together. No, she deserves so much better. Yes, but they shouldn't get married. Or no, they both need therapy. We have a pretty split bag, but with 37% of the vote. Yes, but they shouldn't get married. I kind of agree with that, but I'm going to keep saying the other answers before giving my opinion. At 26%, we have yes, they were cute together. Okay. 21% no, she deserves so much better. And 16% says no, they both need therapy. Ah! So I personally, I don't know if I'm too cold or whatever, the Capricorn in me, but I think Bliss deserves better. I know they have an unspoken connection and the pause and they love each other. But if a man did that to me, I'm sorry, honey, I would be out. I would be out like a light. You could not bring me back, especially for Zach. I know love is blind, but if I saw him in a suit at that freaking gastropub bar walking in like this, um, I don't know, honey. Like, I don't think he's like, whatever. I'm not gonna say anything about the way he looks. I think he's a nice guy. Even the way he acts, maybe they have a different connection. He's just not my cup of tea. But that's what Bliss wants. Love is blind for them. Good for her. I just think she deserves better. She made him freaking cupcakes, and he still chose the girl who forgot his birthday. Like to me, that just screams like what Bliss said about the judgment call. Yeah, like I would question his judgment. How are you gonna expect him to make life choices? Like I don't understand. I know everyone says like maybe he was scared because he didn't think he deserved her because of like her family upbringing being like a secure family, but I don't know, it's just very strange. All right, so the next question is Zach actually creepy? Because I didn't think he was, and then they had Jackie. One, I liked Jackie, we're gonna get to that. One, I liked her in the beginning because that was my biggest stock plummet right there. Honestly, she's the one who surprised me most. But when I liked her, she was at the pool talking with Marshall, and she was saying how Zach is creepy. He gives creeper vibes, and I'm like, maybe it's something you have to see in person. Maybe like you're around him and you're like, ooh, creepy, because they kept putting in clips like that, like insinuating that. But then later on, everyone was kind of saying like, no, he's not creepy. So I said, is Zach actually creepy? The whole answers are no. Irina just made him that way. Yes, he's hella weird. Or he's more awkward than anything, but he's not a creep. At 61%, we have he's more awkward than anything, but not a creep. I see that too. I don't think he's like creepy. I don't get like stalker creepy vibes or cartoon character, whatever that means vibes. I just think he's very awkward. I think Bliss and him are cute in the fact that they're both awkward. I just still think she deserves better. Like I think she could do better, but I do think like they have that cute awkward connection. Um 28% says no, Irina just made him that way, which I also agree because she went to all the girls and just like was talking so much about him, and how weird he is for making eye contact, which I don't know, weird flex, but okay. And then 11% said he's hella weird. Yes, he is creepy. So the majority, 61%, still think he's just more awkward. I would agree with that. Jackie and Marshall. We are finally talking about this. Spoilers, cause what the fork? I liked Jackie so much, and it's so sad. But my draft pick for week one, I thought Jackie and Marshall were gonna make it because Marshall was comforting her when she was having a breakdown. He's so patient with her. He knows how to deal with her. He's such like a good guy. Like he genuinely is one of the best guys of this season. Like Marshall and Brett were all the guys this season are pretty good. Um, except Kwame, but like everyone else, you know. And I gotta sneeze. Ah, sorry. Hold on. Achoo. Easter sneeze. Okay. Achoo. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. So Jackie and Marshall. Jackie was an 8 for me at the beginning. Her and Chelsea were just my top two. She seemed real. She seemed funny. I did get a little bit of red flag when she was talking about like Chelsea to the girls with Micah, and I don't know. I was just like, okay, that's weird, but whatever. And I should have listened to that because this girl needs toxic. Her saying man up or whatever, like she is stuck in a toxic cycle and she is not ready to get out of that. And as soon as she said like Marshall's too nice, that's when I knew because we've been there, but until you're actually ready for a relationship and you've healed yourself, you will not want something that's good for you. You accept the love you think you deserve, and she has not done that self love yet. And I could also tell in that part where she's like talking to Josh and she's like, oh, I'm not ready to get married. Then why would you sign up for Love is Blind? You know it ends with an engagement and you're going to have to get married within a month. But like, I don't know, maybe she was on a self discovery. She did say and admit she probably needed to go to therapy in the episode, but jumping out of an engagement with a good guy to a guy who's obviously toxic for you just based on attraction, you're not really learning or maturing enough for this experiment. And I just remember watching it and thinking, toxic. Like she, not that she necessarily is toxic, but like she needs a toxic guy. She does not want marriage. This woman does not want marriage. And I wish the best for her. I hope she's doing good. I know she's popping off on social media, defending herself left and right on the comments right now. We're going to get to that as well. But I'm going to answer the poll first. It says, Jackie and Marshall thoughts. The poll is hashtag justice or Marshall. She is toxic. Hashtag Team Jackie. He couldn't handle her. And they both need therapy. With 88% of the vote, and my personal opinion, hashtag justice for Marshall. She is toxic. 0% of people are in Team Jackie. Thank you, thank you. And 12% are they both need therapy, which I am kind of inclined to agree because I didn't like when Marshall called her a project. That did trigger me a little, but like he apologized immediately after, and I feel like if that is the extent of his anger, he's doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good. I mean, we all say things we don't mean, but like, he doesn't raise his voice. He's pretty self-aware. He knows how to deal with her and calm her down. Um, I don't know. I think Marshall's a really good guy. I think everyone has their faults, but the majority of how he handles himself during anger is good. I am going to give you a spoiler. So I was on Reddit, and I am going to read something to you that Jackie tweeted, right? Oh my god, my mouth, when I tell you, my mouth dropped open. So someone tweeted, Jackie literally could have just stayed home. Jackie answered, I got married, dummy, TF, like the fuck? What? And then on the Reddit post it says, she says she got married and Marshall called a whole community a slur. She still has the ring and she's not giving it back. I am so confused. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I'm reading the comments to kind of see like what that even means. Jackie's ready to drag Marshall apparently. She's saying like he said stuff and did stuff and she's ready to go out on Twitter. She's been tweeting all morning, which is a bad vibe. You know what I mean? Like, stop trying to defend yourself like Irina did until, like, she got dragged. Just apologize and take accountability. Come on. Like, the more you do this, it's just bad. It says, imagine all the weirdos who used to try to be my friends wanting some clout for being a hater. She keeps, like, tweeting. She talks about she's going to bring receipts. She's talking about how the producers told her not to go to the dress fitting. But, like, it's her choice. Like, no one is freaking forcing her. And she's also saying how she didn't skip the dress fitting to meet up with Josh, it was edited that way, which I could totally see them doing. People were comparing the receipts. What is she wearing? What's she doing? She said that she split up with Marshall before she went up with Josh. That's fine. Whatever. But even if she did that, like, I don't know, man. It's still giving toxic. It's still giving embarrassing. But she's gonna try to drag Marshall during the reunion. She wants to bring receipts. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening. I'm really unsure. I'm still reading it, but she's just going off on Twitter. She's honestly going off, and the reunion's live, so maybe we'll do a live watch. We'll see. But she wants to reveal a bunch of things. Whatever. So either way, the majority of the fandom, we agree that she's a little toxic, but who knows? It could be another Cole and Zenab situation where we come out of the woodwork and like all of a sudden all this stuff happens. So what other things do you want to discuss tomorrow? I put on my poll a few things that people want to discuss are Bliss's dad. Oh my god. Okay. So I'll tell you where I'm coming from. My parents would skin me alive if I was like, yes, I'm going to marry someone I met after 2 weeks. Because mind you, they didn't even have the full month and he picked another woman. So I do understand where the caution comes from. However, the way he talks to his daughter and handles it while she is so patient with him and is saying, okay, dad, he keeps interrupting her and saying he knows better. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. I really feel for Bliss. I thought it was a little confrontational. He's the kind of guy who doesn't care about being on cameras on TV. And if he's not going to sugarcoat himself for TV, you can imagine how he is behind the cameras. My dad is very similar. He does not care. He will be all up in there like swimwear. Like he will just be going off. You're an idiot. You're dumb. My dad would probably be worse, to be honest, but he's Asian. So I don't know. It could be cultural. It could be whatever. But I do understand where Bliss's dad is coming from. Um, I do think the dinner was uncomfortable. However, I do think Zach tried his best. Just because he doesn't like fishing or sports or whatever, like he still said he was willing to learn. I think he handled it as well as he could. I think Bliss handled it as well as she could also. She was very mature in her responses, and I do respect her a lot. I think she let his dad have his own, her own opinion, but the way he came on was so strong and it was like kind of aggressive. I was like, damn. He just kept cutting her off. Like he would not let her get a word in. He made it so uncomfortable. But I guess everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I do understand his point of view. I just think the delivery, oof, it could have been better, honey. Like, oh my God, Zach was fighting for his life. Bliss stood behind him, so props to her. Um, they're gonna have a lot of trouble in their marriage. I thought Bliss's mom was just the sweetest, though. The sweetest, though. Was she the one who said, "Oh, I'll be your mom too"? Oh my gosh, I was like, "Are you kidding?" That just like is such a testament to how Bliss was raised. Because if she like, come on, I mean, she's too good for this world. Bliss is probably the best girl on this season. I'm trying to see if I'm forgetting. Tiffany's also really good. We do like Tiffany. Um, don't hate me because they don't show a lot of her, so I don't get to see a lot of her character, and I do find her and Brett kind of boring sometimes. And maybe that's the toxic fandom in me where I want to see some drama, but the most drama they have is like her crying and being like, I'm really stressed, which is such a normal reaction to getting married in like 4 weeks, and Brett comforting her. And that's not their fault. They're a beautiful couple. It's just the toxic part of me wants to be like, I need drama, you know what I mean? But like, no, I love them and I respect them. I just think that in terms of like story, I think Bliss is just so, I don't know. You could see her character more. All right, so another question you guys had: Jackie choosing the other guy, Josh, is that because she really likes him or she's self-sabotaging? She's 100% self-sabotaging. She even said she's attracted to Josh. She didn't say she liked him. Josh obviously doesn't love her. He talked to her in the pods. He's so unserious. He wants clout. Are you kidding? You think Josh loves her? She doesn't believe that either. Like, it's just literally purely based on attraction. Because after he saw her at the party, all of a sudden he was all up on her. He was drunk, confessing his love. And then he was making himself a total fool. Everyone was like, wow, this man's so annoying. And honestly, she was eating it up. She's completely self-sabotaging. She likes him, yes. She does not love him. There's no emotional connection there. She even said to him at the party when she was drunk, we've never talked about anything serious. I had no idea you felt this way. You know why? Because he didn't feel that way and she didn't either. She didn't either. And the only reason she chose Marshall is because Marshall manned up which I don't even like that term. Like, what does it mean to man up? But he manned up, which is what she said she wanted him to do, and stepped up to Josh and said, I want her. And Josh didn't fight back. If he really loved her, he would have been like, too bad. Tough luck. I'm still going to talk to her. But, like, she thought Marshall was toxic. Like, that's why she liked him. She was like, well, he's fighting for me. I like that. And then he fought for her, but in a non-toxic way. And then all of a sudden she's like, I don't like this anymore. But Josh was the one who's like, all right, well, whatever. I don't care that much. He just wants to be on TV 100%. So is she self-sabotaging? Absolutely, subconsciously she is. She doesn't realize it, but she doesn't want love. So I guess, whatever. If that's what she wants, give the girl what she wants. Okay, and then the last poll that we had. What did you think of Kwame and Chelsea's sexy photo shoot? I thought it was so weird that Chelsea's like, I've dreamt about this for so long. You dreamt about having a Calvin Klein photo shoot with your husband for so long? What if the man you chose did not look like Kwame? Would you still have had that photo shoot? It's just so weird. It's such a trophy husband thing. Okay, someone said this on Reddit, and don't hate me, but she's given some Get Out vibes. Especially, she looks like the girl from Get Out. I'm not saying she is, but she kind of looks, she gives those vibes where she just wants to show off, like in Get Out, the scene where like the old lady has the younger man and she's like, oh, look at him and he looks so good and he can run and do this. Like when she was introducing him to her family, she's like, he has an MBA and he was a professional soccer player. I'm just like, who? What do you? It's just weird. It gives very trophy husband vibes. She's always dreamt of having a Calvin Klein photo shoot with her husband. I thought that was a little weird, but that could just be me. Anyways, the poll answers are cringe, awkward, they have no chemistry, hot, or it was not good or not bad. With 35% of the vote, awkward, they have no chemistry. 29% say cringe, 30% say it was not good or bad, 6% say hot. So the majority of people actually split like 3 ways, about 30% each way, but the majority of people, 35%, said awkward, they have no chemistry. I also felt like that. I felt like Kwame was so uncomfortable in the photo shoot, just like the strawberries. I feel like he feels like he can't step up to her because he doesn't want to look bad on TV. I feel like he's also scared of her now. I feel so bad for him. I feel like he's scared. I feel like so Kwame on his wedding day, his sister really wants him to get married to her. He's like, oh, they'll love Chelsea, but like I don't think she sees everything going on behind the scenes. And I think he might feel pressure to say yes to her, but I think he might feel more inclined to say, well, my mom says no, like like well, when you ask your parents for something and like, oh, and you don't want to sleep over your friend's house, you tell your mom like, hey, say no. Like I think that's what he's pulling. I think he's like, well, my mom said no, so I can't get married to you. Sorry. Like, if it was Micah, would he get married? Yeah, he probably would. He probably would, honestly. That's what I would think. But I think he's using that excuse as a cop out. But if his mom had said yes, he'd be screwed. He would literally have to say no and regret it forever. That's honestly my personal opinion. Because I feel like he's so pressured by public opinion and he's so scared to look bad that he will do it. I think he's very conscious of his television persona. I think he definitely wants clout and people to follow him. I think that the reunion will be the tipping point for him because I feel like a lot of people did not like Kwame, and I think Chelsea is making more people like him because of his treatment for her. So I think right now he's at a 5. It's not that people like him or dislike him. I think they disliked him and now he's okay. I think with Chelsea, they really liked her and now she's okay. I think the reunion will be very telling for how a lot of people are going to react. I think Micah has gotten a lot better in public persona. I would probably say the majority of the posts I see on Reddit are like she's at a 6 or a 7. I would say Paul is just so cute and adorable. I love Paul. I would say he's always just been pretty up there, especially for me. Honestly, if I was on the show, Paul would be like my first choice. I think he's so cute and he's just like such a granola, like outdoorsy mountain guy. So I think he's always been pretty good. Tiffany and Brett are the golden children of the season. Bliss, I think everyone likes her, and Zach, I think everyone finds him charming now, away from Irina. Obviously, that girl has issues. She's issued a public apology after all the backlash, but when the first round came out, she was like, "Oh, people just don't get that's my humor." Okay, and then when everyone roasted the hell out of her, then she wants to apologize. So yeah, no one really sees that obviously as like just genuine. I wonder if she's gonna be on the reunion. Oh my god, that would be amazing, honestly. And I think I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, we're good. And I think the way that Michael handled Irina got her a lot of brownie points. So we are going to go on Reddit and talk about a little bit more of the stuff since most of your questions were answered. A lot of the public opinion is that the bro ships, i.e., the guys on this season and how close they were great. I would agree. I think that they were able to talk to each other. They were really able to open up. They were really there for each other, and we saw some spoilers. Nothing crazy spoilers, but spoilers that said like it showed like a Marshall at Brett's wedding, which I thought was really cute. It didn't say if they said yes or no, but he was like in the aisle like clapping and a small guest. So I think that's cute that they show up for each other on wedding day when they don't have to. And then Cole and Brett have a little picture together hanging out, and then Brett and I think it's Cameron also were hanging out, which is so cute. But I just thought it was really interesting. We're going to go back to Jackie saying she got married. So that was, if you weren't here, that was a spoiler on Twitter. Jackie was clapping back at people and said, I got married, TF. So do you think she got married to Josh? Or do you think she got married to Marshall and went through with it? Because they keep going back and forth and it's toxic. If she got married to Marshall, I feel so bad for that man. But I could see her going back and being like, sorry, baby, I love you. I didn't mean it. I'm just scared, blah, 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 blah. And him taking her back. However, I could see her getting married to Josh to try to prove a point and being like, no, I was right, and having them be miserable because there is no way that they would work outside of this. But apparently she got married. So either she got married to someone on the show, or within the last year, she found someone and got married and decided to do it, or she's just going wild on Twitter to try to make herself look or feel better. I honestly don't know. There's so much speculation, but apparently Jackie got married. There's also a lot of The Office memes, which I love the fucking crossover between The Office and Love Is Blind. We have Jan and Michael on the couch, and everyone is saying, "Wow, Chelsea and Kawami in every public storefront." Chelsea being Jan, which I so appreciate. I think it's so freaking funny. Also, people are just talking about Paul and his like analytical side, which I love him. People are saying Paul has mommy issues because like he's literally marrying his mom. I don't know if you'd be inclined to agree or not. His mom is exactly like Micah. Again, I don't think she's as toxic as I thought she was. I think she's just surrounded by people who are terrible. Do I think she's a good person? No. I just think her influence is based on who she's around the most. Because her one friend Shelby, oh my god, hot mess. Nick and Vanessa Lachey. Everyone's saying, can we agree that Nick and Vanessa Lachey are not equipped to handle what is sure to be a dumpster fire season of a live reunion? I agree. How are they going to handle it? What are they going to do? Drag people off the stage? Do you think there's going to be any fights or live fights? No, but I do think Jackie will be running her mouth and clapping back. And if things go live on TV, like, they can't just stop rolling. Like, they might have to bring people off the stage. I think Josh will try to start drama with Marshall to get more clout. I think Marshall might say things he doesn't mean, but I don't think he'll raise his voice or clap back. I think Paul and Micah will be chilling for the most part. I think Irina will try to go in on Micah, but I think Micah will just be like, whatever. Actually, no, I doubt that. I think Irina will be on an apology tour. I don't think anyone will agree. I could see Chelsea stepping up and being mad and Kwame just taking it. Because I don't think they're going to get married. Either that or they will, and it's going to be like a Matt and, what's her name? Was that the ultimatum? Matt and the other girl where she just looks like she's trapped, but they're still married. I could see that being Chelsea and Kwame. Oh my god. And then we have, let's see, oh, your mama too. Corporate needs you. Oh, someone said corporate needs you to spot the difference between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture, the meme, and it's Bartiste and Josh. I would agree. I would agree. I think, except Josh doesn't try to be fake, so he doesn't get as bad a rap. Because honestly, I think it's almost worse when you try to act like you're there for love and then you gaslight the crap out of the people you're with, and that's so Bartiste, where he still is like this politician vibe. Oh God, I can't handle it. I cannot handle it. And people are calling Josh Gray, Josh, um, Grey's Anatomy. They're calling him a pick me. They're just like photos of Josh and it's saying pick me, choose me, love me, which is so true because he's saying he loves her. People are saying Chelsea is dismissive of Kwame's feelings. Obviously, every time Kwame tries to talk about his feelings of doubt or hesitation of getting married, she doesn't want to listen to what he's saying. She's pretty much just very, you know, big on no, we're gonna get married. That's it. Um, let's see what else. Bliss defending her little sister, the dancer at the Micah and Irina. Jackie's Insta, let's see. She keeps saying she has receipts, which she supposedly saved in the reunion. I understand these reality shows usually have NDAs, but it's obvious she doesn't care about it, considering she was gallivanting with Josh in public at a packed baseball game. Oh my God, if she got married to Josh, I'll lose my mind. So she really has all these receipts about not being told to go to the dress fitting, audio being edited, etc. Why not just post them? If you don't care enough about your NDA to be seen with Josh in public, then post your receipts. So, if the spoiler is she's still going out with Josh in public, if she got married to him, I'm going to lose my mind. Someone's conspiracy is I think she's actually working with the producers at this point to hype up the reunion. Wow, that is a really interesting conspiracy. Someone said, I wouldn't doubt that with how messy Jackie and Netflix are. Do you believe the conspiracy that Jackie's actually working with Netflix to hype up for the reunion and she has accepted her role as the villain? Someone said, y'all, I had to post these under my original receipt. I was on Twitter and Jackie is actively searching her own name. This is her replying to someone about keeping Marshall's ring without even actively adding her. So the original tweet says Jackie a weirdo for keeping the ring, and it's not even at Jackie. So you know this girl is going on Twitter in her spare time searching her own name, which there could be thousands of Jackies, but she's searching just Jackie to actually go ahead and respond. And the response that Jackie wrote is, Netflix bought the ring. I still got the ring. I'm bringing it to the reunion, and trust me, it's way more than $200. What? What? Oh my God, bro. This is wild. You think she's just keeping the ring? I cannot. I cannot. That's absolutely nuts. Let's see what else it says. I can't wait to be vindicated and shut everyone up. Haters gonna hate, but next week is gonna be mine. That's what she's saying about the reunion. Some people are saying she's going to use her dad to try to get out of it, which I don't condone people saying that. Her dad has cancer. She's sick. I have cancer. I can totally say that, don't come for her family. People are saying it's marketing. So I don't know. It could be marketing. Micah. Someone said about Micah, the polarity of Micah. Her being really, really kind, like when she's around Paul, and like then someone saying she's a weak, like she's mean when she's around other people. Someone said she's got a very weak character. She's very easily influenced by who she's around. I would agree. I would agree. I think that Micah is very influenced by the people she's around. She chooses to be friends who are bad with people who are a bad influence on her. However, I like that when she was drunk, she stood up for herself. I like that when she was drunk, she's like, you have to support me. Because I think that shows that maybe she really does love Paul. Or she just wants her friends to stand right beside her. She did have to be drunk to like stand up for herself, but she did it. So I think she's around people who are aggressive personalities like Micah or her friend Shelby, and then she finds herself having to stand up for herself in those positions, but maybe she has to get drunk to do it. I don't know. That's the only thing I could say. Yeah. Someone said, a question to you. If Kwame and Chelsea met outside of Love is Blind, would they still be together? If no cameras are on social media, what might people think? Absolutely not. Someone said, I don't think they'd last. Kwame auditioned for Married at First Sight. Not an attack, but he's a clout chaser. He likes a big stage. I talked about that earlier. I think Kwame gets it 100% and reads situations expertly. He cannot break up with Chelsea or back out. He will be seen as a villain, terrible his brand and his corporate character. It's so much easier to stick it out, attempt to become an influencer, and split amicably with Chelsea at a later date. Wow. So they think he's just gonna stick with it and get divorced. I could see that, but I could see him using his mom as the out, so he doesn't even have to do that. But he thinks committing is a safer choice. Kwame's playing the long game, and if the cameras and social media weren't a thing, there's no way he'd be with Chelsea. That's true. If he wasn't on the show, he would absolutely not be with her. Not. And someone said, did I see him slightly grimace instead of smile when she was walking down the aisle? Absolutely. When Chelsea was walking down the aisle, bro, do not tell me that Kwame was excited to see her. His face, my dude. He did not seem excited to see her. He really did not seem excited to see her. I feel bad, but like, oh, that wasn't it. That was not it. Oh, that was so awkward. He wasn't crying. Like, if he was crying for his life. I guess I don't know. I don't know. Ah! So blessed and moment. Chelsea Griffin off camera, private, but I didn't go the way I wanted. Sure, I was going to see her for flying back home. I'm waiting for you. I don't know though, because Chelsea's Insta story has her being cool with Chelsea's sister. So either she just wants him to seem like, oh, you know, we're cool, we're good, to try to get on Kwame's like, hey, I'm still cool with your sister, or he said yes. I hope he didn't though. Let's see what else. Yeah, people really like Kwame's sister, by the way. Everyone's saying she's radiating really positive energy. She's joking with Kwame. I would agree too. I think she's super nice. Um, the wedding dresses look extremely cheap and poorly made. God damn. This is terrible. Bliss's story. I love my siblings so much. Okay, so some of you guys are being crazy. So Bliss's sister was wearing like glasses at a table during like the scene with the stepdad, and she had to defend herself on or her sister on her story, which is absolutely ridiculous. Why are you guys coming for their families? Like they did not sign up for this. They're just there. Bliss had to say, I love my siblings so much. My beautiful baby sister just got back from an eye dilation appointment prior to filming. She wasn't wearing sunglasses to be cool. Because she's cool enough already. Friendly reminder to be kind and not make assumptions. Yeah, why is the fandom so toxic sometimes? You're coming for Bliss's little sister? Because she's wearing sunglasses? Relax. Her eyes dilated. What the hell? Okay, theory about Jackie. Hear me out. In the past American seasons, there's only a few other instances where the couple didn't get to the aisle, and that was Diamond and her fiance, and because of a huge fight during their honeymoon. The other was Kyle and Shayna, and that was also because of a breakup during their honeymoon. Besides these two couples, the others still make it to the aisle, even though we can see they're not getting along. True. My theory about Jackie is she couldn't handle being with Marshall anymore, and seeing how unstable she is, she wanted to leave the whole show. But producers didn't let her leave just like that, so they gave her the option of utilizing Josh as a plot device to give us more drama. I could see that because they always typecast the couples, because they have the couple who's consistent and stable, Tiffany and Brett. They have the one that doesn't make it to the altar. It could be Marshall and Jackie. However, if it is, do you think they give Marshall the heads up? And that's why he was so chill? Or no? Because if they didn't, that'd be really messed up, but I could see production doing that. I could see them doing that. And then Josh is like the Shayna, you know, like the leftover. um, And someone could say that's why they invited Josh to Chelsea's birthday, which is so random. I could definitely see that because Irina wasn't even at Chelsea's birthday. Why the hell was Josh there? Very weird behavior. Um, but I think it was really sad because even during the dress fitting, Marshall was talking so highly of Jackie. Like he seemed blindsided. So even if this is the case, I don't think production told Marshall, which is so messed up. Marshall totally deserves better. But I think someone said this might sound like a bit too much, but I think Josh was just a device for Jackie to dump Marshall and not go through the rest of the wedding process. Because why on earth would any grown woman be attracted to the mess that Josh was at the birthday party? Josh also kept talking about how she's tired of everything and maybe she doesn't want to do the show anymore. And she was crying that first week with Marshall. Was she crying because she wasn't feeling it? She didn't want it? Was she just putting on an act for the cameras? I don't know, man. But if that is true, that kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense. All right, we have Kwame shared on Instagram the airport story that he didn't get to finish what he was talking to Chelsea's mom. English is my second language. Was Kwame adopted at 8 years old? Her mom seemed rude. I'm here dying the stories. Talking about the dog. They're just talking about how Chelsea and Chelsea's mom interrupts Kwame a bunch. Someone said Bliss reminds them of Hannah Marin. Interesting. Hannah Marin. Ha! That's a Pretty Little Liars. Ashley Benson. Chelsea pushing back on the Mean Girls. Her many red flags aside, I thought it was very impressive how Chelsea reacted to Irina saying, I'm so mean. I wish I was less mean. Chelsea goes, why don't you be less mean though? I liked that. I like that. And I think that's when I was really standing Chelsea before she was a little controlling. You know what? Chelsea is not like walking red flags. She's just annoying. But is she a good person overall? Probably, yes. She's just a little annoying. She's a little controlling. She's a little annoying. But she's not a mean girl. She's not like Irina mean girl level. I will give her that. Jackie attacking her edit. I can't. I don't even want to go with that anymore. Someone said if Zach were a sitcom character and they put a meme of Chandler being, hi, I'm Chandler. I make jokes when I'm uncomfortable. It's so true, except Chandler has like a warm charisma about him. I would say Zach is just awkward. I feel like Zach is more like Ross. Zach defended Bliss's dad's perspective in the conversation. He said he felt completely respected in their conversation. Apparently, the whole conversation wasn't shown, and they bonded over athletics. Looking back, Zach said that Bliss's dad had every right to be reactive. His usually intelligent, logical daughter decided to get married in 20 days to a guy she met on a reality show. While her mother showed so much more empathy and love, her dad was right to be skeptical. So, again, it's the edits. Zach defended Bliss's dad and said they actually did bond over athleticism. So they put on all the the pauses and the weird music they do where it's like and it's like supposed to sound so like woo. That's a lot of edits. Zach literally said that he felt very respected in an interview with Bliss's dad. So I guess what it's shown to be awkward and uncomfortable, it wasn't as bad. Zach told People magazine, it actually went a lot better than I thought it was going to go. I really appreciate and respect what he said. I felt his concerns were valid. And I really wanted to hear that from someone. Because a lot of my family and friends were like, you do it. And I didn't get a lot of people were like, this is like a bad idea. So he respected the honesty. And he said during the conversation, it was like, oh, I know I was right. I know I was in the right. So I think that's good. I think that it shows, and it's another testament to edits. And if that's possible, maybe Jackie just is getting a really bad edit. Who knows? Let's see. And so, oh my god, another thing with Bliss. So I guess Bliss also looks like Shay Mitchell from Pretty Little Liars. So Bliss is like if Shay Mitchell and Hannah Marin, Ashley Benson had a baby. Oh my god, I love it. All right, all right, all right. Now, ladies. All right, so my theory about the ring. Spoiler. Oh, okay. So there's a spoiler alert. Someone thinks that Jackie pawned the ring before the breakup. In the scene, at a glance, you can see that Jackie's face is the face of someone who clearly has something to hide when she was asked for the ring. Her side eye expressions, exact moment, are very odd. The rest of the time in the conversation, she's way overconfident about the clear BS she's spewing out of her mouth. All the other answers to the question are way too direct, cold, and sharply focused on deflecting all the blame back to Marshall. It's very odd to see the difference in her facial expressions with the question of the ring and the rest of the questions. So someone thinks that Jackie pawned the ring. Damn. And that's why she didn't want to go back to give back to Marshall. She could have sold it. I could see it. It was actually probably worth a lot more. She's like, this is the Love Is Blind ring. And maybe that's why she keeps saying she's bring it to the reunion. Damn. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see, man. Most obnoxious couple. So, oh, this is just in general, all the seasons. Love is Blind, most is Netflix. Who's the most obnoxious couple? Someone said Damien and Giannina. Still never say her name. I could see it. Damien and Giannina were so cringe. Danielle and Nick. We have everyone's just agreeing. And it's so funny because there's a little crossover where Damien is like talking to Francesca. God, if you watch The Perfect Match, that show is so cringy, and he just gets his best desserts because on Love Is Blind with Giannina, Damien seems like the more level-headed, logical one, and then on Perfect Match, they make him look like a complete fool. That man is a fool. Ridiculous. All right, what else do we have? Most dramatic couple. Every time, oh, again, I want to just talk about Damien and Giannina. If you were Bliss, would you give Zach a second chance? Already talked about that. Brett and Tiffany, everyone still like loves them. Someone said they believe the experts were deliberately picking people who would be emotionally abusive in their relationships. I would agree. I think the first season, people were actually trying to find, like, experts were actually trying to find people coupled up together, and they realized how big it got, and they wanted it to be a train wreck. So every season on, they are actively looking for people who might seem good on behavior, on paper, but they kind of know some people are chasing clout. They want to bring a few people who are there for the right reasons, and they want to bring a few people who are just there, like, for clout. And I'll believe Kalami's for clout because he, did Married at First Sight. Chelsea's there for the right reasons, but they know that she's a little bit of a little bit much. Obviously, Irina's there for clout. She's not there for the right reasons. They know she was going to be villain. Micah, I think they also kind of set her up to be villain, but she ended up being a little more like human. Paul, I think, is there for the right reasons. Zach, I think they knew he's there for the right reasons, but they know he's very awkward. And I think they had a gold mine with Irina and Zach. I think they knew that them together was just going to be something. And you know what's funny? I think in the first season, there was 2 other couples who got engaged, but they didn't follow them throughout the pods. I wonder if there are any other people, let me check, in this season who got engaged and this weren't followed. But I think because of that, I think there's less people. Let's see, engaged couples. Not followed, not shown. But I don't think so. I think they had to fill the episodes and have more. And I think, I think it stopped in seasons 2 were the last ones. Because, you know why? I think they were still kind of trying, and I think they finally got to a point where they just stopped trying. I think they stopped trying completely. And they don't have any extra couples that were not shown because they just put all these toxic people there together. And I think it was so prevalent when like Bartiste and Shane, like that whole season was like super villain on super villain on super villain. Like Cole and Zena was, oh my god, like people were just there to be on TV. This one, I think they tried to come back to it a little bit more, but it was still a train wreck, which again, watching the hot garbage unravel is such a pleasure to me. I absolutely love it. We know it's not for the right reasons anymore, but we still come back. And honestly, at this point, I would apply just to be on it because I'm old enough. They don't have shows for people who are old anymore. But seeing Tiffany at 36 is like, yes, I love that so much. I love that energy for me. I would totally be on one of these just to see what happens. Because life is short, you know. Anyways, we've been talking about this for an hour. I'm losing my voice. I hope you guys have a happy Easter, Ramadan, Passover, whatever you're doing. I'm about to log off. Thank you so much for joining me on my stream today. As always, you can watch these back if you missed the first half. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.